Welcome, people of the internet. This is Geek Rating Review, where we talk about everything geek culture and geek related. My name is Jean-Marc, and I talk.
My name's Nick. We talk about food, too.
I was born in London, Mark, because I'm his littlest brother, David.
Okay.
Yeah, David added the announcement.
Because I heard that because the part at the end where he's scaring that guy and the Venom face goes aside to show his face. It's that kid talking to him.
No.
That boy.
That is great. Okay.
So welcome back.
Welcome back, everyone.
Welcome back. End of the year.
End of the year.
Best of the year.
This was news to me that this was our last one of the year.
I'm asking the questions here, fellas.
Yeah.
Fine.
David.
What?
What was the best movie you saw this year?
Crap, I didn't think about this one. Can I pass?
Nope. Nope.
Nope.
I can tell you what wasn't the best movie I saw this year.
Yeah.
Oh, shoot. Probably Infinity War.
Oh,
Okay.
yeah.
I really like Infinity War. Did Thor come out this year, though?
Yep.
I thought that was last year.
Oh, that was last year.
Yeah, it came out. Black Panther came out afterwards.
Yeah, I like Thor.
Thor Ragnarok is fantastic, but Infinity War was great. I mean, it could have been better, but not by much. It brought together a lot of people. The ending was awesome.
Yeah,
I liked Thanos.
It would have been tough, no matter who the director was, to manage that cast.
Right. They're ridiculous amount of people. Talent. Very talented. I think Robert Downey Jr. has only gotten better. Because in that movie, like every scene he's in, he's either super funny or you can feel the emotion like just oozing out of him. And compared to everyone else, Robert Downey Jr. I think did a fantastic job in that movie.
Right. I really like the interactions with him and Peter Quill.
Yes.
They kind of that all felt like it was improv.
Yeah.
That's very, very good choice. Jean-Marc, looks like you're doing homework.
I am doing homework right now.
He waits till the podcast to do his homework finally.
Teacher's gonna spank you.
What? Do I really have to go before you? Because I actually have a lot of movies to talk about. Like,
what was the best one?
What's your favorite?
You know Deadpool 2 came out this year?
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
Man, Jurassic World, Fallen Kingdom. I'm just kidding. It's such a terrible movie.
You texted me while you were in that movie saying how bad it was.
Oh, it was so laughable. I laughed at how bad it was. I'm literally looking through a list of movies that came out this year. Okay, Quiet Place came out this year. That is a great movie.
I bought that and Infinity War at the same time.
Quiet Place is probably my favorite.
Incredibles 2 came out.
Yes, that's in my list.
It felt a lot like Incredibles 1, but I was okay with it.
Incredibles 1 is one of my favorite Pixar movies.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
It's like Up, Incredibles, WALL-E. Like, those are the king. And Inside Out is incredible. This is a lot of dead airs, Mark.
Oh, go then. I don't know.
Shooting it with a turkey gun, varmint rifle.
Well, I'll go next, just so you can do, and you're gonna like kind of laugh at me probably. Hereditary is the best movie I watched this year.
Wow.
That movie,
what that is,
like, just stung me, man. It's a modern day Exorcist. It's visually stunning. It's well acted. It's well paced. It's never boring. Yep. The twist in it's super good. The ending is super good. I know you probably had a problem with the ending, but
who
loved the ending? You did.
No, I loved it. I thought you would. I loved the whole movie.
I thought you thought I was gonna hate it.
Yeah, I thought you were gonna hate it. That's
no.
why. If I could.
Is that one of those movies you recommended, Nick, when we were talking about movies a few podcasts ago?
I think it was one of the movies that he recommended because I only watched it a couple weeks ago.
It's soup, David. You need to watch it.
I put it on my queue. I just haven't watched it yet.
It is the best movie it's the best horror movie I've seen since the Evil Dead remake. And I have high praise for that Evil Dead remake.
I still haven't seen that movie.
Yeah, well, isn't a good response.
Well, I didn't really like it.
Thumbing through your freaking phone.
You get off your phone.
I'm trying to
You
see
might as
what-
well have a bag of freaking Fritos next to you, like
Yeah, maybe I should have done this before the podcast.
I have veggie chips. Thank you very much.
David. Oh,
Gross.
I have sour cream and onion in the kitchen that I'm thinking about.
Ooh, that's pretty good.
Okay, Halloween was great. That was a really good movie that came out this
I
year.
thought you just meant like
No.
Halloween. Halloween's so much fun.
That holiday, I can say that with the movie you had the highest praise to me was Deadpool 2. That was the movie that you said the best about.
Yeah, I really did like Deadpool 2. And I was shocked because no one I knew had watched it around me
I still haven't
in
seen it.
theaters.
I've seen it.
And I was like,
really,
why aren't
really
people
like
watching it? It is solid. The music in it is awesome. The story is still good, and Ryan Reynolds is great. But, and I don't know if I'm saying these because I just watched them recently, but Bohemian Rhapsody was pretty good. It actually made me cry. And the only reason I don't like Bohemian Rhapsody was because I could tell it was from the band's perspective. It's just not okay for me that Freddie Mercury isn't here to like defend the negativity that was kind of pushed on his character in the movie, and that I wish they had less montages in it. Otherwise, it was a really good, solid movie, and Michael Myers is in it, which is great because he's the reason the song Bohemian Rhapsody is as big as it is now, because of Wayne's World. So yeah, I highly.
I thought you were talking about Halloween again.
No. David, that is a solid joke. No, that was great. And then I'm just gonna say Overlord. Y'all need to see Overlord.
Oh, I want to go watch it.
Really,
I do want to go
really
watch
good
it.
movie, and no one is seeing it. It is a solid, great movie. Those are my two, I guess. Deadpool 2, Incredibles 2 were all like second, and Hereditary is probably the best horror movie of the year. Definitely, best scary movie.
Better than A Quiet Place?
Quiet Place didn't scare me. It was more like
I wouldn't say it's a horror. It's a suspense. thriller.
Heredity definitely freaked me out way more.
Okay, Jamal and Nick, both of y'all. Have y'all seen It Follows?
Yes, I just watched that movie
Oh man,
last weekend, and it blew my freaking mind, man.
I love that. I've seen it 4 times. I don't know a horror movie I go back and watch like that. I don't know what it is about that movie that makes me want to go see it again.
It's so good.
Yeah.
It's good.
Yeah.
And literally last weekend, like that was our kind of cap, our Halloween cap. We were finishing all that stuff, and start to finish, I was like, this is really good. And 2015, 2014 it came out?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And it kind of just like flew under the radar, and seen it on Netflix. I was like, I'll try it out. No, that movie blew me away.
Yeah.
I really like that movie.
I
watched it
go ahead.
twice this year, I think.
I saw It Follows, and then a week later I saw Babadook, and was like, I don't know which one's better. They were so
don't
good.
like Babadook.
All right.
I like It Follows more, but I do appreciate Babadook a lot.
I think I like Babadook more, actually, just because it freaked me out more. But It Follows
It
is so
Follows
original.
freaked me out because he's paranoid the whole movie.
Yeah, but what's weird is in Babadook, I feel like the enemy's too OP. Like, there's this, like, there could be things you do, like, I thought about it a lot, like, you could, like, trap him in a cage and put him in a cave and then bury the cave to where he maybe, and then move to another country or something, or fly to another country and hope he doesn't get out, I don't know what it is. It is a really good movie, though.
Okay. I don't
Movie
like
tangent.
Still like Babadook.
Oh, and Happy Death Day is a very solid, fun horror movie.
I need to go watch.
That
I
y'all
finally
need
watched
to watch.
that other one that you talked about. That was similar to it. You're Next.
Yeah!
I like that movie.
Great
that was
movie.
fantastic. I didn't think I'd like it as much as I did.
Yeah, I wasn't expecting the comedic angle.
Yeah.
That was great.
Yeah, talk about having a strong female in a movie, but it's not like hitting you in the face with it. She just is.
Right. She's not strong, she's competent.
Yes.
which
She's
makes
the
it
most
even more
competent.
believable
Yeah,
and better.
It's not that her feminism was the reason that she was this amazing person. It's just the fact that she wasn't a moron and she knew what she was doing.
Yeah.
Yeah, and their plan fell apart around them anyway in like such spectacular fashion.
Yeah. Yeah. Great movie.
All right, well, we're gonna stick on the horror topic, and I'll say what my favorite television show is.
Yes.
Ooh.
Because it just changed.
Okay.
For this recording session, it was the animated series Hilda on Netflix, which is still a high recommendation for me.
Mm-hmm.
But right before we signed on, I read an article from the actor that plays Luke in The Haunting of Hill House.
Okay.
And he blew me away with one little detail that the theory that me and you had, Jamark.
Yeah.
About the ending, I'm on board all the way now.
Oh.
And that little detail that he unveiled has turned this show into my favorite show of the year. I don't care about the last 30 minutes being what it was.
Yeah.
It's the best show I've seen all year.
I loved Haunting of Hill House. I think I told you, Jamal, quite a few times that if you haven't watched it, you need to go watch it.
Mm-hmm.
I really, really enjoyed it. I watched it probably in 2-3 days.
I love it. I think the apex of it is episode 6 with the continuing shot.
Oh,
of the
man.
Whole episode.
Yeah, that was
so good.
Brilliant.
I didn't even realize it till like toward the end of the episode. I was like, wait, this has been one shot this entire episode.
Yeah.
Like, that's amazing.
I think it's when the dad walked in.
I want to say it's 3 long takes cut into one.
Yeah.
There's 3 breaks, I think, or 2 breaks
When
they flip back and forth. But there's some like really good dolly shots.
Oh yeah.
Ooh, that reminds me of another show that, when it comes to the best of the year.
So what's your favorite show of the year?
I just finished it. Daredevil season 3. I loved the 3rd season of Daredevil. It was really, really good. I don't want to spoil it. Every episode, if not every other episode, just had something crazy happen. One thing I love about Daredevil is he isn't Superman. He gets his butt kicked all the time. Like, he's human, and you feel it, and you experience it. And he goes through emotional and psychological issues that other superhero shows and movies tend to skip over, because more for brevity's sake. But if you compare it to any other superhero show I've seen, he's the most realistic, likable. I don't know. I really enjoyed this season. You should watch it.
I never finished the 2nd season, but I do like the first a lot. I like that with the Netflix shows, the only comparison you can really make it to is like the Arrow, like the DC verse on the CW.
Mm-hmm.
But those shows fall into a format that all CWs fall into. You have a beginning of the episode and you have an end of the episode. And something has to get tied up in the end by the end of that episode. That's what CW shows do. Buffy did it, Angel did it, Charmed, all those shows do that thing. Daredevil doesn't have to do that. It's a 13-hour movie. So they don't have to wrap up, with the music swelling at the end of the 55-minute runtime. They can just hit you with an ending, move on to the next one. They want you to binge it. CW shows aren't that way. It's not made to binge. I get burnt out on Arrow after 4 episodes because of that constant up, down, up, down.
If you go back and
Daredevil's
watch
like that.
If you go back and watch Smallville,
oh no,
Clark Kent has led to the death of so many people in that show, because that's their favorite way to tie up a villain. It's just kill them all, make them disappear.
Well, I said that about Buffy and Angel, but I think those shows are brilliant. It's like little cereal box stories. It's little vignettes that you can consume 4 or 5 at a time. But you can't binge 10, 12, 13. They get stale, they get boring, they get repetitive. Daredevil doesn't feel that way. Luke Cage didn't feel that way. Jessica Jones definitely didn't feel that way. Of the Marvel verse on Netflix, Jessica Jones is my favorite one.
Mine's definitely Daredevil, hands down. I think it's the most well done. No, I'm done.
What's the best TV show you saw, Jamar?
I've seen a lot of TV this year, and I'm racking my brain. So my favorite TV show is live action, but I'm gonna have to go through my animated ones after this. But my favorite show, which might be even controversial, is Maniac on Netflix.
That was a show?
It's a
I thought it was a
limited
movie.
series. No,
Yeah, I
it's a
thought it was a
limited
movie.
series on Netflix.
Really?
It's about 6 episodes.
Huh.
It has just famous people in it. Jonah Hill and girl from Spider-Man, Amazing Spider-Man.
Emma Stone?
Yeah, Emma Stone and Jonah Hill. And what I didn't see coming was there's comedy in it that I think some people didn't like the mix of comedy and seriousness that it, because the first episode's very serious and then it kind of breaks that as the show goes along, and it does very non-traditional things, but the main thing I loved about it was visually stunning. Like every single episode was stunning and different, and watching the characters move from A to B through the plot was very interesting, and what it says about the human psychology is very interesting. And yet again, I think the reason I bring it up is because I bawled my eyes out at the end of this show. And not that that's giving anything away, it just hit me in a way personally that I couldn't explain unless y'all watched it. And I'd be like, I related to this because of this thing in my past that relates to that. So yeah, I highly recommend Maniac. It's a very short show. It's very well done. Next up there would be Ozark Season 2. Super good. If you haven't seen Ozark yet, you need to. Some people compare it to Breaking Bad, but it's not that good. But it's still it's like Breaking Bad where you don't know what's going to happen in each episode. You don't know who's going to mess up or, what they're doing in this crime world that they're in. So that show is very good. And then animated shows, Castlevania Season 2 is great. Season 1 ends great, but Season 2, hashtags Team Dracula all the way.
Didn't watch it.
Do
Didn't watch it
Didn't
yet.
watch it either.
Y'all need to watch
I
Castlevania.
love the first season. Loved it.
Yeah, so good. And then there's a cartoon no one really watches that I loved called Animals on HBO. Super funny. I wish more people were watching it, but I love it. It's actually very funny. And then South Park also this season is great. They did 2 whole episodes referencing Red Dead Redemption this season, which is really funny.
If we're talking animated, definitely block off some time and watch Hilda. Adventure Time ended this year, and I'm heartbroken because it's one of my favorite animated shows ever.
Yeah,
The show's so smart, it's so touching, it's so brilliant. Hilda is a worthy predecessor.
Yeah.
That show is so good. The voice actress is, if you're familiar with Game of Thrones, she's Lyanna Mormont, the little girl from Bear Island. She's the voice of Hilda.
Does she have the dragon face or whatever? Was that?
No, she's the one that declares King in the North. The little girl that calls John the King in the North.
Oh yeah, the BA girl.
Yeah, she's Hilda.
Yeah, okay, I know who that is.
It's great, man. I love that show. It's got this weird soft colors, but beautiful animation, thick line animation. It's not hand drawn. It's hard to find hand drawn animation this year or in the last 10 years, but there's a charm to it that is second to none in terms of family entertainment. It's up there. It's better than we Bears and all that stuff. It's fantastic.
Okay.
Any animation, David, you want to talk about?
Animation? I don't know if I've seen any this year. That it just isn't something I haven't seen already. I haven't seen the new season of Adventure Time. I watched all of it up until this point. I'm like holding it off because I don't want it to end.
Yeah, that last episode's 55 minutes or something.
Woo.
Oh dang.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm trying to think animated TV shows that came out this year or seasons. I can't think of any because the few I've watched are just like I went back and watched Gravity Falls. I went back and watched seasons of Adventure Time.
Yeah.
Avatar.
We just got the Blu-ray of Avatar, and it looks really good on our 4K TV.
I'm sure.
I want to see if it's going to be on sale on Thursday, on Black Friday. I mean, yeah, I can't think of I don't think I've watched any anime this year, actually, unfortunately.
I'm way behind on anime.
Well, I mean,
I did. I don't know if it came out this year, but season 3 of Black Mirror came out recently.
That was this year.
It was?
It was this year.
Black Mirror.
No, I remember watching it for Christmas, though.
No, there's some weird seasons, man. They had a 4-episode season and a 7-episode season.
Yeah, man.
But I mean, it's hard to Black Mirror. Every episode is its own show.
Yeah.
I love
different.
stuff like that.
Yeah.
Anthology series.
It's very calm. Back to the Twilight Zone. That's probably why I like it so much. It's dark, really dark. Doesn't bother me that much that it's dark. I think that makes it more interesting.
Yeah.
There's just a lot of solid episodes. I mean, some weren't my favorite, but I can't think of one episode I didn't like in season 3.
I didn't finish season 3, but I really like it. Okay, does anybody have a favorite podcast from the year? I know I do.
My favorite new podcast that Jamal had me listen to. I don't listen to a ton of new podcasts anymore, unfortunately.
Oh, I do. What you got? I got 135 subscriptions.
I have maybe 12 or 15.
Oh, no.
It's pretty low.
I listen to 10 hours of podcasts a day.
No, I
That's
can't.
all I do at work.
Because of my job. I wish I could do that at work. That'd be fantastic.
I do it because of my job.
I listen to. I can't think of the first word. Oh,
Adventures.
Business Wars.
Oh, yeah.
I really like Business Wars. I finally started listening to it. My first season I listened to was Marvel vs. DC. That was awesome. I really enjoyed it. I listened through that entire season, or the entire grouping of podcasts.
Yeah.
Like maybe in a day.
Wow.
I just like the way that guy tells stories.
Even
about stuff I don't care about.
Yeah, I think I'm the one that... I think I recommended it to Jean-Marc first.
Yep.
Because I heard it the day it launched because I subscribe to like everything Wondery puts out.
Mm-hmm.
So like American History Tellers and Business Wars and Legal Wars and all that stuff. I get all those. But yeah, Business Wars is really good. I like it a lot.
I like the new season of Serial. It's different.
I think it just ended.
Yeah, it did.
On a whimper.
Yeah, it did. When it comes to Serial, I wasn't even gonna bring it up, but now since we're talking about it,
sorry.
I was like, if she wanted to make a more poignant point about our American justice system, she needed to bring up cases that are more messed up. Because in the end, she said, well, it was just kind of showing you what it's like on not doing crazy cases.
Yep.
Or she should have gave us more, because you left it like, oh, it kind of almost felt lazy the way she ended it too. Even though she put 1.5 years of work into it, you're like, this is how you're ending the podcast, and like I found out that I don't think, well, I don't know if I can say this, I don't think I liked the woman herself that actually does the podcast. Because she showed more of herself in this season, I think, than any other. And I'm like, man, I don't know if I could, like, hang out with you or talk with you in real life. Just, the way she interacts with people, and she interacted with the cops and stuff. I was like, yeah, I don't know. I mean, I get it, but it's more her personality. And the ending was just like... I actually didn't mind season 2 either. I thought it was okay, but I thought that she would come back with this season, and it was just
me too.
Jumbled.
Season 2 felt like it. She just kept. It was the same point every episode.
Yeah.
It didn't need to go on that far. This season, I'm like, she tried to shine a spotlight, but her spotlight was too big. She should have focused on one thing for much more. I felt like there's 3 cases that she really teed off on. The barroom thing was that was a bust. Didn't even need to talk about that. But like the actual injustices of these last 2 kids, focus on those things. As soon as you feel like there's focus coming in, it backs off and it ends. And I'm like, oh, come on.
Well, I kind of disagree about the barroom thing because that was like, oh, this is how you kind of
like the white girl. The white girl gets a walk.
Well, but then the fact that she's in prison for that many days, and like, to me, that highlighted the system. That should have maybe been a shorter episode, but it highlights the system. But then all of this should have been leading to a big case of
Right.
of injustice and how
it was
just,
2 episodes of the girl, the barroom girl.
Yeah.
2 episodes of the kid that got beat up and thrown into a hell cell.
Yeah.
2 episodes of the 14-year-old kid in juvie. You know, it's the white girl shouldn't have had as much weight as the last 2 kids. You know.
Yeah, and I thought the juvie one was super interesting because it's
absolutely with the
juvie.
gang ties and all that stuff.
Actually, I'm like, juvie should have been its own season. She should have went through juvie in detail, and what I thought of, she should have went to more than one place. She should have went to more than one state and looked at how they're similar in the way that they're dysfunctional. Yeah, how you could fix each one or how they work at each different place and how you can maybe combine it to make it better or something like that. Other than just focusing on one place. She should have did like 3 or at least have team members with her that can go to other places and speak to that.
Even in Ohio, you know, yeah, they gave you all that freedom in Cleveland. Do it in Cincinnati. Do it in Dayton. You know, go in different cities in that state just to see what kind of difference you can make. Because in the end, you didn't do anything. Nobody's talking about it. You know, the first season of Serial was on the news.
Yeah.
So what was your favorite, dude?
Man,
you're gonna that one. And what was your favorite?
I didn't want to bring it up for like reasons, but I cannot deny that Hit Parade is like my favorite podcast.
Yes.
But I don't like the in between episodes where it's like. So
trivia.
Hit Parade is a musical podcast where they bring up 1 or 2 artists and they just super focus on that artist and usually their biggest decade. So that you will not even only talk about the artist, but the decade that they're in and how they influence music that decade. And the reason I didn't want to bring it up because he talks about like Elton John and Madonna and I'm like, who cares? Like, I didn't think I cared about these artists before, but then, especially the Madonna episode, I was like, wow, I listened to a lot of Madonna when I was a kid, you know? And he did a rap episode, and I was like, I guess I'll get educated. And I listened to a lot of rap as well. I was shocked by like early, you know, Snoop Doggy Dogg and Bone Thugs and Harmony and all that. Like, I listened to all that stuff. And to me, it wasn't, I was a kid. I got taught out of listening to rap music growing up, being like, no, that's not grunge, that's not heavy metal, that's not, you know, rock music. You know, that's the only music you should be listening to. And I like that it's educational. And probably my favorite episode was when he talked about REM, and I realized I really, really like REM a lot. I would suggest it to David and people just because it's extremely educational and well done when it comes to music.
Definitely. He's got this weird thing of, I don't like Donna Summer. I know I don't like Donna Summer.
Yep.
But that Donna Summer episode is great.
Yeah.
Because you don't see Donna Summer as the artist. You see Donna Summer as the person. And what her fame, how her fame affected her going forward. The disco era, the 80s era, how it affected her and her fans. It makes you care about artists you didn't know you cared about. I don't like Madonna. I don't like Madonna music at all. But I like that Madonna episode. Because there's things in there, you know, it talks about what's on the charts. It's not going to just tell you where their single charted. It's going to tell you what's around it in those weeks.
True. Yeah.
And that's what's interesting. It gives you this broad view, and it just focuses in on 1 week. What does he call it? Their imperial period.
Imperial period, yeah.
That's what he says. Like, this is Elton John dominated the 70s. And he tells you how he dominated the 70s. Elton John could do no wrong. Prince. The Prince episode is my favorite one. Prince could do no wrong. Everything he touched went to gold. The way he does it, it makes you care about people you didn't know you cared about.
Yeah.
The Bee Gees.
I would probably
B-52s. Everybody. It's like, it humanizes every one of these artists. Tells you how their struggles. It doesn't only talk about their up years. It talks about their down years.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Talks about their flops. It talks about their fame. It's the best podcast I have heard in years.
Yeah.
And I'm so glad I stumbled upon it, and I'm so glad Jamar liked it too, because like I binged it for 4 days straight, listened to every episode, and then got caught up. Like,
yeah.
I love the show.
I will pull a David and not listen to an episode for like 2 weeks, just because I don't want to be stuck without the episode after that.
Well, I haven't listened to the last one. It's the '90s trivia thing. I don't.
Yeah, I don't like
I'm
the
gonna hold
trivia
off on that one.
episodes. I don't listen to those.
Well, I did like the live episode with Ted Leo was great.
Oh yeah, I like that one. I actually listened to that one.
I love that. Yeah. I love that show, man.
David, download it.
I'll probably enjoy it because I like that about You Must Remember This.
I love that show too.
And I got burnt out on it after a while.
Yeah, and, I'll throw some honorable mentions in there too by the end of the show. Something that maybe I didn't tell you all about yet.
I mean, season 2 of what's that one, Jamok, that had you listen to? Shoot, In the Dark.
Oh yeah, you ended up listening
season
to
2
it?
In the Dark came out this year. It took me forever to get to it because season 1 was just so well done and so interesting and really crazy.
Yeah.
Crimetown was less than that last year. Crimetown's really good though.
Crimetown started a new season just recently about the.
Did they? Oh shoot!
Yeah, it's about Detroit.
Oh wow!
Oh wow!
Yeah.
Yeah, they started with a place I've never heard of, so I was like, yeah, they have plenty of material to work on.
You never heard of Providence, Rhode Island?
No.
No, never.
Why would
okay,
we?
I'm gonna.
Know plenty about it now.
I'm gonna just flip through some of the stuff that I'll recommend. This is all relatively new stuff. American Hysteria. She goes into widespread panics in American pop culture, poison candy and stuff like that.
Oh, I probably.
American History Tellers is from the same guy that does Business Wars. The latest season is about the civil rights movement. American Scandal, very good, also from Wondery. We'll go with the newest one from NPR is Believed. It's about the Olympic trainer, doctor molestation.
Oh,
stuff.
wow.
A tough listen to, but it's a good listen to. I'll say Covert ended its season. It's an Audio Boom podcast, really good. It's about secret missions from all the special ops forces, from the Mossad to SAS, American Special Forces missions they've done around the world. Crimetown, good. And my final recommendation is music related also. It is called Disgraceland. It is by a guy named Jake Brennan. He is brilliant in what he is doing. It is all about famous musical artists that are, get ready for the Taco Bell ding, the biggest pieces of that you can think of. And it tells their narrative from almost a first person's perspective. And at their very best moment and at their very worst moment, whether it's James Brown on a meth craze, running from the cops, getting shot at by police, to James Brown is on here. James Brown to Rick James shooting at rioters on the top of a building during the LA riots.
Wow.
Listen to these stories, listen to this guy, binge his podcast. I can't recommend enough. Disgraceland is my runner-up for podcast of the year.
Yeah, they're only like 30 minutes long. That's pretty cool.
Yep, very short, very, very manageable.
Well,
his voice, his narrative, it puts you in the piece of shoes. It feels right. It feels ding.
Yeah.
Dong.
I actually have some that I look that I've talked about this and I've recommended it to Nick and David, but Now Playing is one of my favorite movie podcasts. I love Now Playing so much. They just did the Silent Hill movie, and it's just an ongoing movie podcast. I love it. But a new one that I'm kind of ashamed to talk about for reasons is Armchair Expert with Dax Shepard, which is basically a celebrity. Dax Shepard.
Is that the guy from Without a Paddle?
Yes, it is. Yeah. He actually interviews Seth Green about that movie, actually. And like how good of friends, and he talked about Seth Green's like drug use and stuff. It's like really funny. So yeah, I like his because Yeah, he is a recovering alcohol or drug addict. So that comes up in almost every episode about about recovery and how people are doing. He also does his wife, Christian Bell. One of my favorite episodes is another reason I'm like ashamed of it is he interviews Ashton Kutcher because
he was on Punk too.
Yeah, well,
he was one of the original Punk guys.
Yeah, he is the punked guy. Oh yeah, Ashton Kutcher got him that job, but he talked. Ashton Kutcher was on like Shark Tank and stuff, and talked about how he got into this entrepreneurial area of his life and how he went from entertainment to like investing in people and investing in Twitter and stuff like that. So he goes pretty in depth with his interviews. So if I were you, I'd pick and choose who that he's interviewing, because that's kind of what I do, and just listen. I haven't listened to him in a little while, like maybe a month or two, but I was addicted to it for about 3 months, just listening to every episode.
I'll give it a shot.
Yeah. Start with the Seth Green episode. I think you'll like that one, since you're aware of Without a Paddle. Because he talks about, like, terrible. Whenever About a Paddle, like, came out and they went to see it in the movie theater the first time. That's a really good episode to start with. David, what are you doing?
Nothing.
Oh.
Not playing with my toe.
Oh.
That's for sure.
Yeah, that's all I got, man.
Yeah, me too.
Cool.
Both of y'all, Disgraceland, for sure.
Yeah, I'm already. Yeah.
Oh, Lore hit episode 100 just now. That's exciting.
Oh, God. I've never let Lore build up in my playlist.
I'm doing my marathon, my 100-episode marathon right now. I'm on episode 67.
Oh.
When did you subscribe?
Back, 2015.
When it started?
It was like maybe 20 episodes in. So I've been listening to Lore for a very long time.
Yeah, I completely fell off of that. I don't know why. I just was...
His new one's pretty good, too. They're real small, real easily listened to.
Yeah.
And he started 2 new podcasts. Yeah. And he actually mentioned another one on his 97th episode that I accidentally listened to out of order.
Unobscured. That one's real good, too, but it's longer.
Unobscured. Yeah.
I have that one, too.
I haven't listened to it. I literally just added it today.
I'm caught up on that one, too. It's about the Salem witch trials.
Ooh.
But in depth. All right, fellas, I gotta go cook.
All right. Wait, goof topic.
Cool.
Goof topic. I swear it's short. I swear it's short.
Did you remember it?
Yes, I've been thinking about it for weeks.
Okay.
Are y'all ready for this?
All
right. Something I've been doing specifically since basically I moved in the Austin area for some reason. We will buy cereal now, just you need it for dinner sometimes. And I've been doing this thing, which is delicious, which I like to call double cereal milk. It's when you make a bowl of cereal, you eat it, and there's the milk left over. Don't touch the milk. Put even more cereal in there, a little bit more milk, and then when you're done, you're left with the most delicious bowl of milk with double the cereal ingredients in it. I did it with Cocoa Puffs, with Lucky Charms, with every cereal. Frosted Flakes. All of them. And it's delicious every time. And I highly suggest you try it. Double
I've only
cereal
done that with Cinnamon
milk.
Toast Crunch.
Do I?
I have a confession to make.
What?
Uh-oh.
I am a former user of certain things. If you can see this, if you're recording this.
Uh-huh. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Okay. I used to do that. I don't anymore. But I have eaten a bowl of Cocoa Krispies with chocolate syrup on the Cocoa Krispies. Finished the Cocoa Krispies, added more Cocoa Krispies to that milk. And it is like this almost chocolate pudding of milk effect.
Oh.
There's so much chocolate in that milk.
Oh, I need to do this in my life.
And because of the cotton mouth aspect of that thing, it is the most soothing finisher to that bowl of cereal. Yeah, I've been there, man.
Amazing.
I don't do it with everything, but I've done it with Cocoa Krispies or Cocoa Pebbles, whichever is your brand.
Yeah.
Fred Flintstone or a kangaroo, whatever.
Yeah, whatever.
They're the same thing. Yeah, I've done that.
It's so good.
Can I add one more thing to this podcast before we shut it down?
Sure, I'm cooking, so
Yeah.
I'm cooking.
Okay, just a quick thing. Can we do Downer of the Year?
Oh,
Sure.
absolutely.
Yeah.
That's
Something
easy.
you're looking forward to that let you down.
Yep.
You could throw cereal in there.
Go ahead. Go first.
Yeah, go first. I'm trying to think of what.
Who, me? Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Go first.
Shoot.
It's your topic.
Okay. The show Haunted on Netflix. I thought it was going to be really good. I'm a big fan of Paranormal Witness. I watched that show, and I didn't think it was good.
What?
I didn't think it was believable.
Oh.
Yeah.
I felt like it was made up. They didn't react like people would react. If someone told me your dad was a murderer your whole life, killing people, I wouldn't just be like. For those of you who can't see, I just nodded my head.
No.
You look like a grouper, like a big fish. My biggest disappointment of the year is also Haunted.
Really?
Because Jean-Marc sent me a message saying, hey, watch Haunted Season 1, Episode 2. And I was like, all right, it looks cool from the thumbnail. And then I realized it was a docuseries about people lying about seeing ghosts. Because I don't believe in ghosts. I've been in like some places that are like, oh man, this place is haunted, like Hookman's Bridge and Hookman's Graveyard and south, like north of Crowley. I've been in all them places, man. I ain't never got haunted. I don't believe in ghosts.
You're just
and I don't.
not
And when people
spiritually
talk
open.
about
No.
being haunted and stuff, I'm like, I don't believe it. I'll say haunted because I was thinking like it was going to be a cool new show, like anthology show, but it was a docuseries about people lying about ghosts.
Wow.
Sorry, Mark.
I'm glad I didn't bring that up in my favorite shows of the year then. It actually was. And you just reminded me.
Sorry, buddy.
So, I guess a big disappointment of the year was Crash Bandicoot. It was
Really?
very
No,
difficult.
I liked it. That was last year.
That wasn't. No, that was this year, I thought.
No, I bought it last year.
Oh.
Yeah, I bought it for around Black Friday last year.
Okay, well, I'm going to say the biggest disappointment that led into my favorite B movie, The Room type movie that no one has seen, but it is hilariously bad. The only disappointment was that I thought it would actually kind of be scary, was the movie The Nun, which turns into the most unintentionally funny movie with just the ending is so banana bread bonkers that I can't even wrap my brain. Like, it is like, what? Really? If you want a movie that you can point and laugh at, because it is ridiculous, then definitely watch The Nun. Because it wasn't really bad like Venom, which was just horrible and terrible.
Shoot, that's
terrible
such a good
movie.
one for Down of the Year. Wow.
I definitely thought you were going to say Octopath Traveler.
No, I enjoyed parts of Octopath.
Oh man.
But Venom was so terrible on every level for me. I think it's the worst movie I've ever watched. I'm not even joking. There's another really bad movie that came out this year, which you don't see, which is called Downsizing with Matt Damon, or whatever.
Oh, yeah. I've seen that.
Terrible.
Trailer.
I hated that movie. But
It looked like Oscar bait for a little while, and then the trailers really had a tonal shift.
Yeah, it was not what it was advertised as. And that wasn't the problem. But Venom was so bad. I think, and I'm saying this, and we're going to have probably a Star Wars episode in the future. I think I hated it more than The Last Jedi. I'm not joking.
I don't hate The Last Jedi, though.
Well, good.
David, do you hate The Last Jedi?
I don't hate it, but it had stupid moments in it.
Yes.
But so does Return of the Jedi.
Yeah, it did.
Return of the Jedi is the Muppet movie. Takes Star Wars.
Yeah, that's true. Okay, anything else?
No.
Downer of the Year.
Yeah.
Downer of the year.
See you guys later.
Better knock next time.
Better knock next year.
Better knock near. Yeah, we'll be back Probably
Subscribe to Hit Parade.
and Geek Rating Review.
Us too. Well, if you're listening to this, you're probably subscribed to us.
Let's be honest.
Let's be honest. Yeah.
Meow.
That's
for all my cat followers.
Stay tuned for next season or next year of Geek Rating Review, where we may or may not have guest appearances by Santa Claus and some other people.
Yep.
You say Santa Claus?
Yeah, I don't know.
I definitely heard Santa Claus.
Yeah, I don't know. Our dad looks like Santa Claus.
We just missed our chance to do Santa Claus.
I know.
For Christmas.
He's way too busy now, actually.
Does he still work at Walmart?
No.
He retired.
Yeah.
Oh my god. Alright, I'm gonna end the podcast.
You can cut that out. You can cut that out.
Well, yeah, I'm the editor. I do what I want. I just have Nick cursing the whole episode. Dong, dong, dong.
All right, fellas, let me go finish my foods.
Okay.
All right.